These are the guys who've just discovered that their childhood dreams of drop-kicking their annoying sibling off the couch can actually be a career path. They haven't quite grasped the whole wrestling thing, but they deeply feel that this is what they are supposed to be doing. Their names often sound like they were brainstorming during a particularly boring math class. They are amateurs, in every sense of the word. The timing of their moves is off, executions are clunky. Yet, their earnest flubs and accidental headbutts are oddly endearing. They are the ones who, when you're watching them wrestle, you're concerned they may die or seriously injure themselves. But you can't look away. Hand them a mic and prepare for a masterclass in nervous mumbling, awkward pauses, and a complete lack of conviction. They'll either shout every word or whisper challenge, often looking constipated when attempting a menacing stare. The confidence simply isn't there, making for some truly uncomfortable, yet undeniably amusing viewing. Every single wrestler, from the biggest arena headliner to the indie circuit darling, started right here. This awkward amateur phase is a crucial rite of passage. Think of it as wrestling's awkward puberty. Messy, a bit embarrassing, but absolutely necessary for growth. It's the foundation upon which all future suplexes and captivating promos are built. But it's not only the passionate, slightly clumsy wannabes at level 1, there's a very special kind at this level. One that makes promoters salivate and longtime fans groan. I'm talking about the former Olympic athletes or former footballers who are suddenly everywhere on our screens. They're positioned as once-in-a-lifetime athletes or special. The commentary team immediately goes into overdrive, gushing about their athletic pedigree, their God-given talent, and how they're a natural, and then the bell rings. They lack the fundamental understanding of how to connect with an audience, how to sell a story, or how to project a character beyond, I'm a big, strong person who used to do a different sport. They're shoved directly into the spotlight because of their athletic past, despite having absolutely no concept of the theatrical art form that is professional wrestling. They're the living embodiment of all gas, no brakes, and absolutely no idea where the steering wheel is. They're often given wins they haven't earned and screen time they can't quite fill because promoters are hoping their previous fame will magically translate into wrestling superstardom. They are usually the Kurt Angle clones, with promoters trying to recreate what Vince did with Kurt. Right, if level 1 was the enthusiastic toddler trying to ride a bike, level 2 is that kid who's still on training wheels, but at least they're not crashing into the bushes quite as often. These are the wrestlers who've managed to escape the community hall circuit and are now gracing slightly larger, yet still undeniably dusty venues. You've seen them before, maybe on a grainy YouTube clip or as the guy who got squashed in 30 seconds on a regional TV show. They're the that guy of professional wrestling. You recognize their face, but only in the way you recognize the barista who always gets your order slightly wrong. They're not a star. They're more of a recurring extra in the grand soap opera of sports entertainment. They've paid their dues mostly by showing up on time and not accidentally setting the ring on fire. Their wrestling abilities, still largely categorized as could use some work. While they're not tripping over their own feet quite as much as the level ones, their matches are still more about executing 3 to 4 basic moves repeatedly than intricate storytelling. If you see a level 2 wrestler on the card, you can bet your bottom dollar they're there to make someone else look good. They are the professional punching bags, the human speed bumps on the road to superstardom. Their win-loss record looks like a phone number with too many zeros. They're the ones who consistently get caught off guard by a surprise roll-up or a sudden finisher. These wrestlers are the equivalent of the generic townspeople in a video game. They exist to fill space. They blend into the background so perfectly that you might forget they're even in the match until someone lands a particularly loud chop on their chest. Since their in-ring prowess isn't going to get them a main event spot, they often lean hard into a unique appearance or gimmick. Think of your great Khali's, a towering, immovable force whose sheer size was his primary weapon, masking a somewhat limited moveset. Or Hornswoggle, a tiny, mischievous leprechaun whose entire existence was a walking, talking sight gag. They're the wrestling world's curiosities, the human oddities who prove that sometimes all you need is a really tall hat or an inexplicable love for green clothes to carve out a niche. At level 2, it's your jobbers, your look-at-me's. Level 3, mid. All right, if level 2 was the familiar face you can't quite place, level 3 are the good enough. Guys think Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Braun Strowman. They've moved past the "is that even a punch?" phase and can now execute a solid match without accidentally concussing themselves or their opponent. Their moves are crisp, their timing is pretty good, and they generally remember which way to run the ropes. They're like the perfectly competent chef at a diner. You know your meal will be hot, edible, and exactly what you expected, but it's not going to win any Michelin stars. They put on a good solid match almost every night. These guys are gunning for the mid-card gold. We're talking about the Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship, the television title, or whatever regional belt is currently within reach. They'll have a few impressive reigns, defending their title against a rotating cast of fellow level 3s and ambitious level 2s. These titles are their bread and butter, their proof that they're officially not jobbers. They'll proudly display their belt, even if it's the one that basically says, most competent guy who isn't the main star. On level 4 is the you-know-what, not bad talent. These aren't the household names, but they're definitely the ones who make you nod your head. These wrestlers have found their groove. Many level 4 wrestlers are on the cusp of true stardom. They have the look, the athleticism, and often a decent amount of charisma that's starting to shine through. They're the ones who might get a surprising upset victory, a standout performance in a big match, or a brief, exciting push that makes you wonder, could this be their time? They're constantly being evaluated, constantly showing flashes of brilliance, and are often just one memorable moment or a lucky break away from catapulting into level 5. Think your LA Knights. They know their strengths and they play to them, making them valuable assets to any promotion. They're not the jack of all trades, but they're masters of their trade, and that's usually enough to make them stand out. They sound confident and can hold their own on the microphone without making you cringe. All right, clear the ring, folks, because we've officially arrived at level 5. These guys have honed their craft to an impressive degree. These are the guys we turn in to watch every week. Put a microphone in their hand, and they'll cut a promo that makes you lean forward. They command attention without resorting to cheap gimmicks. Then they step into the ring and back it all up, proving that their bark is just as potent as their bite. There's no hiding here. Their talent is glaringly, wonderfully obvious. They have an uncanny ability to carry their opponent, guiding them through sequences, covering up mistakes, and making everyone look better in the process. They're the ones who usually fight celebrities. Think your Gunthers, Sami Zayn, Drew, Damian Priest. They're the standard bearers for what good actually means in professional wrestling. They're the ones who make you remember why you started watching in the first place. Level 6 has the great wrestlers. They are the cream of the crop, the ones who make you cancel plans to watch them. They possess that elusive, indefinable quality that separates the merely excellent from the truly special. It's an aura, a presence, a sparkle in their eye that screams star. They walk into a room and you feel their energy. They grab a mic and you hang on every word. They make you feel, they make you believe, and they make you react. There's no faking it at this level. You either have it or you don't. And these guys have it in spades. I'm talking about your Randy Ortons, your Codys, your Seth Rollins, your Rhea Ripleys. They are the standard by which others are judged, the reason countless fans fall in love with professional wrestling, and the performers who consistently leave you wanting more. They are, simply put, legendary in the making. Level 7s are rare, and they only come once in a generation. These aren't just wrestlers. They are cultural phenomena, transcending the squared circle to become household names, pop culture icons, and figures whose influence ripples through generations. They are GOATs, people whose name your grandma would recognize, even if she thinks wrestling is still real. They've appeared in movies, hosted talk shows, launched empires, and their catchphrases are etched into the collective consciousness. They are synonymous with professional wrestling itself, often being the first or only name that comes to mind when you mention the sport to someone who doesn't follow it. I'm talking about your John Cena's, Roman Reigns, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin's. And so, from the backyard brawlers barely clinging to their dignity and their ill-fitting trunks, to the global icons whose catchphrases are practically enshrined in the Library of Congress, these have been the 7 levels of being a wrestler. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't try this at home. Unless you're level 1, then we literally expect you to. Now go forth and enjoy the beautiful chaos.